Pro boxing fans, we are here in Riyadh. You know it's a big fight. Joe Gallagher, you're here again. But you know what? I'm going to give props to Mo. Your fighter, Mo Alakil. Mate, 2 fights and he's on 2 absolutely monstrous cards. First of all, how are you, Joe? How's things?
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I think that's the benefits Mo have when he's dad's best mate with His Excellency Turk. And, do you know what I mean? Pro debut on the BTBF Bivol, and then his second fight here on the huge heavyweight rematch. So yeah, he's a nice kid, Mo, and it's not that he can't fight. He can fight. He's improving well. And I'm looking forward to putting a good performance Saturday night.
It's just stuff dreams are made of, though. Look, you've been around fighters from the small hole shows and you bought them up, but just being on 2 big cards like this for more, how much confidence is he getting from this? Just being around the level of fighters that he's seeing day in, day out, and at all these media events.
Well, do you know what? For his second pro fight, we've just walked past him. Might be still sat there.
He's just left.
Yeah, he's just left. But you think he's Naz, the way he's carrying on with himself at the moment, and I just think, wow, wait until he gets to 10 fights. But no, it's great to be in and around it, meeting superstars of the sport, being around, seeing all the press, seeing everything, what a big stage and a big show everything is. So when the time comes from him, it'll be big. But you've got to understand, he gets loads of media attention here from being the Saudi boxer, being on the bill, and it's great for Saudi boxing that there's a representation on the show on the night of their own boxers on it. There is one after the public workout tonight. Abdullah is someone that I selected last year when we were doing a trial for the Mike Tyson gym. It was based in Germany, and now he's making his professional debut tonight. He won the Saudi Games this year, won $1 million Real, which wasn't too bad money if you work it out, and here he is now making his pro debut at the workout. So Saudi boxing, I keep saying it all the time, the kids in and around Riyadh, there's some exceptional talent, and Mo's one and Abdullah is the other that you've got to be seeing them type of kids and more starting to support these big events over there.
I was going to actually ask you about that because you've actually been involved with the youth and the upbringing, so the grassroots of Saudi boxing. What level are we looking at right now, and do you anticipate in maybe a decade's time that within a decade that we could possibly see somebody fighting with the elites and looking at a world championships?
Yeah, well within 10 years. There's some really good kids at the moment over at the Mike Tyson gym. This year, for example, the Mike Tyson gym, they went in the youth championships. They won 8 gold, 2 silver and a bronze, and then 2 kids have just won the Saudi Games. Mo's fighting. There's I'd say 4 or 5 17 to 19 year olds. That's just the Mike Tyson gym. That's not regarding the other gyms that are around there that I feel in 5-6 years time there'll be big names. And I've said to Franco already, like, put these in your call, and you go, they're not Saudi. I'm like, no, they are. And I really do feel that these kids will come through. There's one called Little Sultan. There's one that I've nicknamed Cotto. There's some real Smiler. Oh, the kid, he never stops smiling. But the ones to look out for in the future. But the Saudi boxing fighters, which they're not known for, will have good representation in a few years.
Let's talk about 2 of your stable at least. I want to talk about Tasha first of all, who's just come off a win against Habazin. Just a great performance all around. It was just, I think she was just in control. She looked happy, she looked comfortable. It seemed like, 3 minutes would actually suit someone like Tasha. Just talk to me about that one. Talk to me how good that performance was.
Yeah, it was. But we were going into this fight of Habazan, and Tasha has always said 3 minutes would suit. I've always said she was a 3-minute fighter, and you're seeing there the night how she controlled the tempo of the fight. She decided when she should throw punches, when not to, her defence, everything. She's more around, and that's from doing all the work in the gymnasium and everything else. And 2 minutes are a breeze for Tasha, but she controlled the tempo of the fight. And there's a sense of maturity. That was her 5th world title. She's been in 7 world title fights. So with that becomes experience, and you can't buy that, and that's what Natasha showed the other night. She showed a good shot selection. She knew when to engage, when not to engage, when to take a breather, and yeah, it was a pleasure to watch her perform the other night. And at the age she is now, she's 40, she'll be going on 41 now, early in 2025. Sometimes you wonder when that night's got to be, when Father Time catches up with you, and I didn't know whether that would have been the other night. That's why I was a bit hesitant fight week, having in the past been in the ring with Anthony Crolla. in his last fight, and all of a sudden he's in a do or die against someone that he really should have taken care of. Scott Quigg when he fought John O'Carroll, Macklin. You just get to a stage where they can't pull the trigger no more and it catches up, and I'd like Natasha to go out at the top instead of being a sacrificial lamb at some point down the road. Do you know what I mean? I'd like her to go out on a win, and like Carl Froch did, and go out on a high. And first and foremost, she's a mother, and I don't want her daughter to see her sort of like get bashed up in the ring neither.
Lauren Price, it seems, is the name. It has been announced via certain press releases. How much do you want to stop the passing of the torch narrative for this fight? Because it seems like Lauren's sort of been built up to this point, and it seems that it seems to be a passing of the torch narrative playing out. How much do you guys want to stop that?
Yeah, and I think that they were a bit too quick to push the fight, advertise and push it out there. Me and Natasha haven't had our sit-down meeting, which we do after every fight, to discuss the fight, her performance, and going forward. So I think they're a quick push to put that off. There's a few things, if it is Lauren Price, that we want to do. We want to have VAR testing. I need to speak to Natasha. I think she's coming out here if this fight's agreed. Is VAR testing involved? We want testing done before, during and after. There's just little things that need to be ironed out. It's all right saying the fight's on, it's done, but Tasha's 40, nearly on 41, and me as a coach, I'm looking after the welfare of my fighter, and that's all that I'm concerned about at the moment. If it is Lauren Price, it is Lauren Price. I thought she could have fought Michaela Mayer, and then the winner fought Natasha. But if it's Lauren Price, it's Lauren Price, and you see in Tasha there's still plenty of willingness, and her mindset and her tongue. She's very sharp. You can't beat Scousers with their quick wit and everything. It was a bit like Carl Frampton, same in Northern Ireland. You just got to pick your battles there, and I don't think Lauren Price expected Natasha to be so quick-witted and so stern with her responses. So it's got to make good TV for the build-up.
Lawrence Okoli, wow, just destructive. I think that's the word to use for Lawrence. He seems to have a lot of negativity in his career. Whilst he's done great things, he seems to have carried a sense of negativity, or he hugs a lot. He's a bit boring to watch. He's a bit awkward. But just his last two fights, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Just knockouts of what we know Lawrence for. What do you believe's changed since you brought Lawrence on? And I know it's a silly question, and I know, Joe, you're very old school. You don't want to hype yourself up, but something has changed.
I don't know. I think it's more to do with Lawrence's mentality. I think that's first and foremost. Like you said, there's a lot of negativity, like I say, a bad smell around Lawrence. You mentioned, and people go, oh, he hugs and this, you see social media. And I said to him, we've got to change people's perception of you. He's a very nice kid, he's a very humble kid, he's a very generous kid, he's got a great heart. He's just a really nice person, but that doesn't come across. Really, he shouldn't have to, really. He's a boxer first and foremost. But there is that side to him, but I feel sometimes he's been a little bit too laid back. But I think, as he said in his words, first time he won a world title, he was like, yeah, won it, and then he lost it, and then he realised how much he didn't really appreciate being world champion. So then when he got the opportunity to win the bridger weight, we took it because it was a good step up to see how we'd perform with the extra weight on him, and he performed really well. And then now we've moved up to heavyweight, and we were given certain opponents, but I wanted a big man. I wanted someone that, listen, you got a heavyweight, let's see your deal. And the kid that he fought was the same weight as him, 18.5 stone. And I said to him, listen, when you move up to the heavyweights now, the big men, do you understand? You got Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, they're all big men. Miller, I want someone big, what I see can the push, pull, strength-wise, everything else. And it was a good opponent. What we wanted to get from him, that we didn't get. And it was like in Poland, we didn't get, but you cannot not be happy with the first round. As Lawrence say, you won't get paid with overtime. So I'd like to get Lawrence out again in March, and then we're ready for any world title that's available in the summer. I think there's a great possibility that he will become a three-weight world champion. His mindset, his work ethic. I was really disappointed when Lawrence weighed in. There's some people who should know better that have been in the sport, that they criticised his shape, his weight and everything else, and they have no insight to his training camp, what he did, the rounds he sparred, the running track sessions he did in. And listen, we're in a results-based business, and Lawrence Okoli won in the first round. That's all that matters. So he'll develop in the new division, but it just shows you how much he was struggling to make cruiserweight boiling down. And I'm telling you now, I think I said it to Francis Warren before, listen, he's a murderous puncher. I mean murderous puncher, and he's a threat for anyone in the heavyweight division.
Cool. I do want to break down the main event on Saturday night with you, Joe. First of all, I want to talk about AI Judge. Groundbreaking 2024. It is the year of AI. Take LHA Korea season or bringing on this judge, and I think it's just like sitting alongside the three judges, and it's going to be sort of a trial. But what do you make of it? I know you're old school, so it's good to get your thoughts on it.
I don't know. I'm struggling to know what AI is on a phone or whatever. I'm lost with me. But listen, if it's a way of moving forward and understanding it, it's. I don't really. I remember when we were in the World Boxing Super Series, we had a fourth judge that would view the contest from the background. But as far as AI, it's listen, time's moving, and everything's moving, technology, everything, the whole lot. So a bit like football with VAR, this most probably maybe become boxing's VAR AI. So who's to say how we got to trust the AI round the ring? I don't know. Most probably they won't be emotionally invested. Most probably they're impartial crowd. They can't get swayed by the crowd. I don't know. We'll be interesting to see the scorecards. Anyway, it's an interesting test examination of what possibly could be for the future.
AI is fantastic for the work that I do, for the bits that I do. So it's actually helped me out a lot.
Saying that though, I seen an Adidas advert today, the first Adidas advert done by AI without any models or anything else involved in it. Agents saying, I was like, wow, that's just like unbelievable. But sometimes AI judging, surely they can't get worse than some judging that we've seen in the past. That's all I'd say.
You said that, I didn't say that. Let's talk about the main event. Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk, close fight first time around. There is rumours, and I can't really tell by looking at Tyson, and I've seen it once or twice this week, that he's going to come in heavier. I can't see it because I'm not really good with that sort of thing. But if he does come in heavier, what does that show you, and what do you think he's going to do with that extra weight?
I don't really think the weight's above him. I think Tyson Fury doesn't really train to make weight. He is what he is, as long as he's happy in camp and he's done the work. That's the Tyson Fury that you'll get that'll turn up on the night. Tyson Fury's never been body beautiful. I think Tyson Fury is happy if he's had a good camp, and I think the key for this fight is that Tyson Fury's being allowed to spar for it. Last time he couldn't spar, he had a cut. So when I had Liam Smith fight in Canelo, Liam Smith got a cut off Kell and he couldn't spar for 6 weeks. So when he went into the fight, his body was soft because he wasn't taking punches or whatever in sparring. Doesn't mean he'd beat Canelo, I'm not saying that, but that's the example. So Tyson Fury, when his whole camp, like Liam Smith, I'll say it again, they conditioned themselves on sparring. If you take that away from the pair of them, you most probably get the two of them going, how have we got to fill this void? I can do as many pads as I want, as many bags as I want, and everything else, but it's not sparring. So you've got a different nature of the beast now, and as well as it's documented the implications and the problems in his personal life that was going on outside as well. I think you've just got a different animal, different mindset, different beast for this fight. It's like, there you go, Tyson, here's the rematch, and now you can spar. And he's like, woohoo, away we go. He's getting conditioned in sparring, he's getting sparring partners, he's working set shots, his timing will be on point. And it's mostly with that not sparring enough is maybe why he did get caught with the shot by Usyk, where Usyk, it's not documented whether there are any problems or not. Now Tyson Fury has got that eye-in, he has got that timing, he has got the little head movement, he can just that little inch here, little inch there. And we all know Tyson likes to move the head a little bit, and he's most probably a little bit, I wouldn't say nervous, apprehensive, I say, when he went into that thinking, I'm going into this fight, I've got this in my head, I've done no sparring, and like early on he might get caught, I'm off it here, like, do you know what I mean? And you could tell going into this one, he's got to be razor sharp, he's got to be on point, and he's got to be like a Formula One car. He's got to be brought out, he's got to be in pristine shape, conditioned and ready to go. And I think that's the big thing for this fight. I don't think it's the weight, I think it's that Tyson Fury's finally being allowed to have a proper full camp without worrying about eyes getting cut and have sparring and not having no chaos in around his life. Like I said, I've read there now that he's not spoke to his wife for 3 months, and then I said in an interview that there's no way he's got to finish boxing. I think he's enjoyed that camp, not speaking to the wife too much.
Fair enough. I do want to ask you though, Joe, you know, somebody who's been around boxing for such a long time, been with world champions. Tyson went through 3 good but tough fights with Deontay Wilder. He went through another tough fight with Oleksandr Usyk. How much eventually do these tough fights sort of catch up with you at a point? Because we know that Usyk's undisputed in both divisions, but it seems like he's not been in as many tough fights as Tyson seems to be. Is that a correct way of seeing it?
No, I think there's been more demand on Usyk's body more than anyone's. Plus, people don't remember, Usyk's the oldest heavyweight out of them all. It's not Tyson. Usyk's older than Tyson. Usyk has fought at cruiserweight against good kids, and then he's had to put weight on his body and go up fighting bigger and heavier men. So when he's getting hit by Joshua or Daniel Dubois or Tyson Fury, there's mileage added to him a little bit as well. I think he hides his emotions well in a fight. Usyk, he nullifies people's work with his feet. But in the cruiserweight, in the World Boxing Super Series, and you've got to remember he's even an amateur who was having wars with BTBF. So you've got to start looking, you start thinking, oh, there is miles on the clock there. And sooner or later, this could be the fight where Usyk does crack. If Tyson, he admitted afterwards, he got hurt by an uppercut in the first fight. And he was praying, please, Jesus, look after him. Yeah, when you ask him this week, did you get hurt? He said no. But if you go back, he did admit that he did. Then I thought, wow, that's not like Usyk to admit something. And Tyson most think, yeah, no, I did have you. And a sharp Tyson Fury now, I think, will win on Saturday night.
For Oleksandr Usyk, though, and obviously that was a good explanation. I didn't actually look at it all the way back to the amateurs when I was talking about sort of mileage on the clock. With Oleksandr Usyk, do you believe that there is more levels to his game? I know he's shown that he's elite, but if he had to, push you up slightly, and we know Tyson's, edging for the win, but do you feel like there's any more levels to Oleksandr Usyk?
I'd like to say there is, but I think we're creating that the most trouble is, and if there is, I'll hold my hands up. But I think that we've seen everything Oleksandr Usyk can do. But then saying that again, if you look at his AJ fights, he came back in the second one and was absolutely brilliant again. Daniel Dubois, Usyk's good in a rematch as much as Tyson Fury's good in a rematch, and he will have to adapt. How he adapts, he knows himself he's fighting a better Tyson Fury this time round. How is he going to adapt this time round? Will he box on the back foot this time? Last time he came on the front foot, because the back foot is where he emotionally might walk Tyson onto something, then instead of go chasing it. And this is the fascination. I've always likened this fight to Holyfield Bowe. In their fights, trilogies, you had the small Holyfield as Usyk and the Big Daddy Bowe. And sometimes when they had the exchanges in their 2 or 3 fights that they had, it was different all the time. And it's whether Usyk lets more shots go up close this time, or boxes on the back foot and takes this as like an amateur bout, point scoring, and tries to run out a points victory on the back foot. He is capable of that, but that's why we're all tuning in, and everyone around the world's tuning in to watch it, because it's a fascinating clash of styles and personalities.
AJ was asked about this, and he's picked Usyk for the rematch win because he said, look, he's a very good, both great fighters. He just felt like Usyk's very good in them championship rounds, and we did see that in the first fight. How do you stop somebody like Usyk, who's generally known to push on better during the fight? How do you, in Tyson, and you're a good trainer and being in that corner, how do you stop Usyk dominating them championship rounds?
Well, he didn't dominate the championship rounds with Tyson Fury. And he had him hurt in the 9th, and Tyson Fury still recovered and come back and did well down the straight. So Tyson's been in there, he knows it. And AJ, like you said, Usyk knows, it's just experience. Like you say, he's a world-class amateur. He knows how to kill a clock, he knows when to take time off, he knows when to breathe. It's just experience, like we said at the top of the interview, like with Natasha Jonas. But Tyson Fury does as well. You can't write neither of them off. Tyson Fury gets knocked down, he gets back up again, but so did Larry Holmes, so did Muhammad Ali. Don't be putting that as a negative on him. He does get up and he finds a way. We've seen that Deontay Wilder. Oleksandr Usyk finds a way. This is a real fascinating fight between the pair of them. The championship rounds it could be decided on, but last time out it was Tyson Fury, after being hurt, after being wobbled, came back strong and only lost by a point.
Yeah, it is a good point, and to be fair, they both got great recovery powers. Even Usyk, when he got hit.
Usyk was hurt in a fight. I can't remember the name. Was it Hunter? Hunter hurt Usyk late on in a fight and didn't finish him. And he's one that's become the closest to doing him, and they never had the rematch.
Interesting. Joe Gallagher always leaving it on a bit of a bombshell there. But listen, always a pleasure catching up with you.
Yeah.
Good luck tonight with Abdullah. I know you've seen Abdullah, but
I've seen him.
Saturday with Mighty Mo.
Mighty Mo, yeah.
And then but we're seeing you're just known in Riyadh. You're here all the time.
Sort of like a citizen here now. They've been very good. The time I've been over here for the last 18 months has been brilliant. It's great to see the Mike Tyson gym being used by all the fighters, all the young kids that are coming through it, and there is a real buzz, because in Riyadh at the time it was all MMA, but boxing's really growing big and massively over here now, thanks to His Excellency and putting all the shows on. So no, it's really good. Hope you're enjoying it as well.
I love it. There's no other way to say it, but you're getting to see the big fights without any politics. Why can't you love it, right?
No, exactly. You've just got to think of it. It was Vegas 80s, 90s. Everyone's got their head around it. It's Riyadh in this part of the world now. Come and enjoy it and experience it.
Joe Gallagher, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for your time as usual. Thank you.
Problem.